Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going on a spice quest.
We're searching for the spice.
Spice World Tour. We're looking for High Guardian spice. The spice does not seem to be flowing at Crunchyroll. We don't know where the hell it is.
Yeah. I found the slate of panels that was coming, and I searched, and I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, so we're going to look at Crunchyroll Expo, which is the Crunchyroll digital event.
Starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow. Yeah, there's nothing on High Guardian Spice on the website. Very curious, and you know, when you couple this with what we talked about the other week, where there were animators on Twitter complaining that Crunchyroll wasn't even looking at their pitches because they got burnt on High Guardian Spice. Basically, they weren't going to look at diverse pitches because of High Guardian Spice. It goes missing. Ray Rodriguez is very, very coy on Twitter. There's nothing about it in the press, and it's not even at Crunchyroll Expo, so what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, that's the first thing I went and looked for was, okay, where is it? It's not there.
It's not there. It's not there. So was the feedback so negative that they're just going to try to sweep it under the rug, or are they just going to surprise us someday and have Spice Day?
I'm thinking they're going to try.
If
they do anything, I think they'll surprise people because they're not going to bring attention to it. It'll just drop one day and be like, see, it's still there.
It still exists.
Just to spite the haters, but you know, something's going on because it just like kind of fell off a cliff.
High Guardian Spite.
High Guardian Spite.
It's High Guardian Spite. So again, look, people wouldn't have had that big of an issue with High Guardian Spice had it not been drummed up to be this amazing thing because of the diverse people working on the show, not because of the show itself. When they did the pitch video for those of you who weren't paying attention, they basically just talked about all the diversity behind the camera. They showed nothing of the actual animation.
And by diversity, we mean mostly light-skinned,
LGBTQ.
Yeah, basically.
And, you know, people were upset when it was announced, I'm sure for various reasons. But one of the big ones was that Crunchyroll, when they talked about, you know, raising their rates and where all the money was going to go, they assumed it was going to go to existing animation studios, Japanese animation studios. They're like, why are you producing this American cartoon, which looks like something from Cartoon Network, like a Steven Universe type thing? Why are you doing that instead of giving money to the Japanese studios? Now, it is still on the website. We don't know when it's actually gonna drop, but they're not really calling a lot of attention to it. Now, we also know that at least the pilot exists because we had some people reach out to us on Twitter and say they've actually seen the pilot. They were test screening it. And Ellation reached out to us and asked us to take our video down talking spoilers for the show, but this was well over a year ago.
Yeah.
Like, it just has gone down the memory hole, and we know production is wrapped on it. They were talking about people working on the show, Ray Rodriguez and I think Kate Leth. We're talking about how they were no longer working on the show. Who knows? Now, to be completely fair, before people go calling us a bunch of haters, the description that we got, or the feedback we got from someone who saw it, they said it actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So if they had just dropped it without making such a big deal about diversity, people might have been more receptive.
Right. They also thought it kind of felt like a Little Witch Academia ripoff. But I have to say, the school, and I said this before, it reminds me of Monster High.
It does. It does look
even
like
the gargoyles on the top there, and it's just weird. Like, for some reason, the characters don't feel like they match the environment. I don't know why, but they just don't.
Yeah, the backgrounds were nice.
The backgrounds were nice, but the characters don't seem to fit. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, so we don't know where it is. So Geeky saw this the other day. She's out there looking at Crunchyroll Expo, and we're going to talk about Warner's digital conventions here. So this is their next convention. Then after this, they're going to do the Rooster Teeth.
Oh, are they?
Like 10 days of Rooster Teeth.
Why do they need 10 days of Rooster Teeth? I think they would do 10 days of, like, you know, DC or Crunchyroll before I do Rooster Teeth.
Well,
but,
they pared back on DC, you know, because people really only care about the big, you know.
10 days of Rooster Teeth?
Because they're upcharging for some of this stuff. I think they're trying to justify their existence at this point. We already know that Crunchyroll is probably for sale at this point. So we go to the schedule. And we look for Spice. I do like the little logo. There's no spice. You look for originals, so we're like, well, maybe they're going to talk about High Guardian Spice on the Crunchyroll's Originals panel, right? There's a lot of discussion about the other originals, but there's nothing. Here we have, Crunchyroll Originals in Russia. We have Onyx Equinox. We have X-Arm. God of High School panel. Again, Onyx Equinox. So I'm a Spider. So what? There's no High Guardian Spice. Mm-mm. And by now, since it starts like tomorrow, there would have been something.
It's not even in the tags or anything either. So
it's nowhere to be found.
It's just MIA. Maybe they're going to do a big reveal during the event. Who the heck knows?
I don't understand. I guess the thing is, with all the controversy attached to it, hiding it is actually worse, I think, in some ways. I'm like, you could have just dropped it and said, oh, by the way, here's High Guardian Spice. We did it. Right. It's done. Here it is. Now, the other thing is they could have actually screened the pilot. Maybe all they produced was a pilot. They could have screened the pilot, and maybe it was so disastrous, the screening, that...
I think that, because the one person said it was actually pretty good, and they were sending it out for people to look at. So I don't know. I don't know if I think that.
I don't know. It could be the online backlash. It could be just the fact that since this was completely... created in-house by Ellation, that with WarnerMedia, everything being up in the air right now, they might just be like, just pull the plug on it. We don't.
Or just put it on, HBO or something later. Who the flip knows?
I don't know.
It just disappeared.
Poof! It is gone. It is gone. But the only mention of it we could find in the news recently, other than the videos we've been doing. We're keeping the hope alive.
Apparently.
We're keeping the spice alive. I actually...
That's kind of funny.
I'm going to be completely... And I'm not being facetious. I'm not being facetious at all. I actually want to see the show. Because I want to see if it's actually any good.
You want to see if they wasted their money?
Well, no. I mean, look. I'll give it a chance. Again, I think people would have given it a chance had they not trumped it up to be some big, push for diversity, and they actually showed some animation. People might have been like, yeah, we'll watch it.
They were a little mad their money was going to
America.
To Ellation.
Yeah. So the only mention of it we can find is here in this press release or whatever, talking about some of the other originals that are coming out. X-Arm, High Guardian Spice, Fly Me to the Moon. There's nothing on the site about a date. I mean, who knows? And we know production's wrapped, so it's not like they're still working on it.
Right.
It's just
production being wrapped to me sounds like they did finish it. So I don't know.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that they should have enough to at least drop an episode or two, or the pilot, or something. Unless I don't know. It's
just
very
disappeared.
But it could come down to money right now too, because look, WarnerMedia is looking to sell Crunchyroll. Now, we heard two different scenarios. I'd heard from some people connected to Warner last year that the plan was to eventually roll Crunchyroll into HBO Max, but now it looks like they're willing to just sell the whole damn thing off. So maybe they're like, yeah, let's not put High Guardian Spice out just yet.
People don't sell profitable divisions. I'm just, pointing that out there.
Well, that's funny you mention that. Because Crunchyroll, I mean, I think it's doing okay, but they're like, hey, we have 3 million paid subscribers in 10 years. And
in 10 years.
They're looking at these other streaming services like, they're building up like dozens of millions.
There are YouTubers who have more than 3 million subscribers and did it in less than 10 years.
That is true. So now they're trying to pad out their numbers. They're like, hey, we're gonna have Crunchyroll Plus, Crunchyroll Plus Plus, and Crunchyroll Plus Ultra.
How come none of them are ever minus?
Crunchyroll minus?
Yeah, it's always
like
plus. Plus. Why is everybody doing stupid plus?
I don't know.
Max.
That's
plus.
I wish. It's actually Crunchyroll, the fan plan, the mega fan, and the ultimate fan.
Oh, okay. Now that's just douchey. Because that's basically like, well, that's just a pissing match. I mean, that's all that is. Are you a fan or are you an ultimate fan? Prove it. Open your wallet.
For $30, they should have the stalker tier.
The stalker tier?
The fan, the mega fan, the ultimate fan, and the stalker.
There you go.
$30 a month.
I mean, that's all that is. It's just like, well, I'm a fan. Well, I'm a mega fan. Well, suck it, bitches. I'm an ultimate fan.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's all that is.
That's like class wars, classism, caste system for anime fans. Now, here's the thing. You talk about profitable divisions. Something's going to have to give, because it was reported last week or the week before that Warner has actually changed its mind about selling the games division. that they're not going to do that.
I was like, why did it suddenly pick up or something?
Well, I think because of the Fandome event. I think there was so much interest in some of the games they were showing that they were like, you know what? If anything's going to make money down the road, it's going to be video games.
Well,
so I think this is like the kiss of death, though, because they got to get a couple $2 billion out of something. So I think the fact that they're supposedly going to keep this means they'll probably just, you know, throw
get rid of
Crunchyroll.
other things, yeah.
Yeah, throw Crunchyroll and Rooster Teeth kick them to the curb, you know?
Well, what was interesting about the fan event was the numbers they were reporting. And I thought that was very interesting because what they were going by wasn't just the numbers, their internal numbers. And they had to deal with YouTube to, like, you know, to promote it on there. But then they had, like, you know, well, we counted the influencer numbers.
Yeah, so they're claiming, and this is, like, Warner, look, I will give them props. I gave them props after the Fandome event. I was very skeptical after San Diego Comic-Con. I was like, Comic-Con was a freaking dud. But DC Fandome actually did a pretty good job. Now, be aware, though, people go to Comic-Con for the kinds of big announcements that they got at the Fandome event. They weren't getting that at Comic-Con. But now people are like, well, Warner's going to get this digital con thing right. They're going to, you know, because they've got Crunchyroll coming and Rooster Teeth coming and all that. But it is interesting. Yeah, you pointed out that they said they had 22 million views. They pulled it off, and they counted YouTubers and influencers.
Yes.
And everything. So it wasn't their own content that got that many views. It was them counting everybody talking about it.
Yes. I'm like, really? And then who do you hire? I mean, what? That's your job to go around and see us talking about it and look at each video and see how many views it got and count that into your total?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just sad. So...
Yeah, they said the experiment was a resounding success. Again, you know, the Batman trailer did really well, and you know, Justice League obviously did really well. They said, according to the studio, the Fandome Hall of Heroes event generated 22 million views across 220 countries and territories over the 24-hour run via the in-house player, live streams by comic book influencers.
Live streams by influencers covering it.
And other content generated by fans watching the event.
So they're counting other people's work as their 22 million views, and they're putting it out there. I'm like, when you read the fine print, then you see where they're getting this from. It's just kind of douchey.
Yeah, but they're going to make it look as good as possible because, look, everybody at Warner right now is, like, fighting to survive. We saw how they gutted DC Comics, and they all have to prove that they still have value. Now, I think DC Entertainment, at least the movie division, TV shows, all that, they're definitely safe. But what's going to happen now is because there was so much buzz about this, they're going to be looking at Crunchyroll and be like, okay, are you going to pull these kinds of numbers?
They're not.
Not even in the ballpark.
Well, you know what? They're probably counting this video because we discussed it.
Right? So the 10,000 views.
Both Warner and Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
This.
And Rooster Teeth, I think the reason they're going on 10 days, well, one, they're upcharging for some of their events, but I think they're also trying to rack up the views too, because I have to wonder if there aren't people sitting there at WarnerMedia like, okay, guys, you bring the views, you bring the money, you live another year. But if you screw this up, we're cutting you.
Then you die another day?
You die another day, yeah. Well, that's it. I'm telling you. Crunchyroll and Rooster Teeth are dead men walking. They are, and women. They're one way or the other. Crunchyroll's getting gone. It's either going to be absorbed into HBO Max or they're going to sell it. And Rooster Teeth, it's just flailing around like a chicken with its head cut off at this point.
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
It's bleeding out.
It's like that kind of a rooster joke.
That was supposed to be a rooster joke.
You were going to say cock. I know you were.
I could have made a cock joke, but that would be inappropriate.
Too late. Anyway,
that wasn't a joke. That was a
wait, cock with its head cut off.
Yeah, it's called circumcision.
Just like that's. I mean, how is that going to be a joke?
It's not a joke. If you've ever had it done being older, it's definitely not a joke. Babies don't remember. Anyway, what are we talking about?
I don't know. I would bet $1 million you'd find some way to make that joke in here somewhere.
Well, look, the reason they're called
You're so predictable.
The reason they're called Rooster Teeth is it was either that or call them cockbite. Literally, that's why they're called Rooster Teeth.
That's not why.
So you can't. Yes, it is.
For real?
Yes.
Are you serious?
I am 100% serious.
That's what they were going to call it. I thought you were joking.
No. So I love it.
I thought the second name. You know what? They did that. They probably wouldn't be hurting so bad.
So I'm like, let me get this straight.
I wondered where they got that from.
So you have an independent studio that's basically called Cockbite They get bought by WarnerMedia, and now they're having to remove offensive content from their YouTube channel.
From a place called Cockbite.
From a place called Cockbite.
Do I even want to know where they came with that one? Okay, now the name Rooster Teeth makes a whole lot more sense. I wondered why the hell they name it that. Are you messing with me this whole time?
I'm not messing with you.
Okay, because...
Google it.
I can't believe someone wrote that as their name for their company. Anyway.
Rooster Teeth. Yeah, because they were indie. And this is what happens whenever you're an indie company and you're young and you're edgy and you're on the internet and you're still laughing.
Could have been Cock Rash. I mean, it could go a lot worse.
Cock Rash.
I mean, it could go a lot worse.
Yeah. Then we're gonna find out
that's Colonel Sanders' nickname.
Then we're gonna find out the Ellation was either erection or fellation, and then they just changed the name of that
you
too.
You totally missed what I said. Never mind.
Yeah, I did.
I said that's Colonel Sanders' nickname. Cockbite. I'm sorry.
It's finger licking good.
Okay.
Anyway,
I thought you were kidding.
Enough with the Rooster Teeth.
He messes with me sometimes, so I'm just like, he's joking.
I'm not joking.
Oh my god.
Look, because they were a bunch of younger guys messing around on the internet. They could do that, but now that they're like respectable businessmen, well,
because Rooster Teeth makes more sense.
Because Rooster Teeth makes more sense, and the fact that there's like hardly any of the original guys left.
Okay, guys, if we're gonna go mainstream, we can't call ourselves Cockbutt anymore. So what do you think we should call ourselves? Let's just call it Rooster Teeth. Oh my god, that's brilliant.
Yeah. They're probably drinking. I don't know. I
don't know either. I'm more amused by that than anything today.
Anyway.
That wins my day. Anyway,
I think Warner is going to bite down on the cock here pretty soon. I think they are.
I shouldn't have done that noise so long. My asthma kicked in and I couldn't come out of it. It was like a nosedive on a plane and you can't pull up. That's what that just was a minute ago. I was like, I can't get out of this.
So, because I think WarnerMedia with these companies, with Crunchyroll and Rooster Teeth, they bit off more than they could chew.
Okay, let's stop.
These
you're gonna kill me.
But no, look at all the other little indie studios and stuff they bought with it, because it all came as part of Otter Media. They had Full Screen and Machinima. And Machinima they shut down, and I talk about Machinima a lot, but people don't realize like what a big deal that was. Machinima has like 12 or 13 million subscribers. At one point in time, it was the biggest channel on YouTube.
Right. And to remind you, Crunchyroll has 3 million in 10 years.
Yeah, so it's. I think they're living on borrowed time here, one way or the other. Anyway, let's get back to the point of this, which
is what?
Spice.
Oh, okay.
The spice is not flowing. We don't know where High Guardian Spice is. We're the only people who seem to care. I do. I'm actually like, we're gonna start a petition. Release the spice.
I don't want to release the spice.
The spice must flow.
You can.
I want to see it. We have talked about this damn show for so long. I want to see it.
I'd rather watch other stuff.
I want to see it. I will be completely fair and objective. It might actually be good.
That's true.
I'm
just so tired of talking about it.
Yeah, I think they are too. That's why it's not on the schedule. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Please do.
You sure you don't want to talk about Cockbite anymore?
No, I don't want to talk about spice either.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.